Hello, Sam Owens here. We've got a welding machine here, and I don't know why they call them machines, but that's usually the way they do it. And this is a handheld. You see, it's like a gun, and here's your rod out here that you've usually seen. It's like arc welding, you know. You draw a bead on this, and it actually welds things. Well, it's got its own little carrying case. And that's what it looks like. It does say professional here. Folks, I have to profess, I do not know how to weld, but I'm going to attempt to see if I can show you, demonstrate the product actually being used and me attempting a welding operation. So let's put this down and see what we got. It's always nice to have a nice case to store stuff in. And right away, now I know you professional guys have really nice helmets, decorative and all of that, but they do, for the homeowner, they give you this little, you know, you form it into some sort of a welding helmet, and they actually give you a handle to hold it with. But let's look at some of the other stuff. There's the glass that fits in there, and I'll demonstrate that in just a little bit. And that glass is certified for welding. You can't just use regular dark glasses or stuff. Now they do give you a set of glasses, but this is actually certified for doing long-term welding. Where you have to look at the spot. You don't want to look at it with your naked eyes without that proper protection. Okay, if you're going to do any really serious welding, I would suggest you get a welding helmet. Okay, you get some little stuff here, and you get the instruction booklet, which really doesn't give you any welding information about how to. Is strictly on setting the welder up. Now, you get a pack of welding rods. Up to the right, you're going to have some information. I think it's 10 or so. And here is that little handle. It just fits right in there, and I'm going to put that together here shortly. And you get a brush and this little thing right here. I know welders will know exactly what that does, but I do not know, and I haven't had any description in there as to what it does. So I think most people are assuming that you know what you're doing when you use this. But there's nothing that says you can't learn. So to learn, you have to have one. Now they do give you some dark glasses, but they do not say that they're certified for actually doing welding. So I'm not sure, but they are extremely dark. I don't think they would give you these unless you could use them probably to start the welding. You know, you gotta see where you're going to get it started, and then once it's started, maybe the helmet would be the thing to use, and you could have these on. Like I say, I need to really take a welding course, or I need some help with doing that. But I can demonstrate the product so you can see what all you get and how you fire it up. So that's an advantage. Better than just looking at the box. Now, you get a set of gloves here, and you might want to use these because this stuff, metal kind of flies around at some point and as it gets hot. So okay, nothing else is under there, and now we'll get to the actual welder itself, and that's this part right here. And this has got the electric cord, and now this is the part that you're actually going to connect with that alligator clip to your working material. And this is the part that's actually going to go into here. This is negative, this is positive. And this has got a bayonet connection right here. It'll only insert one way, so you just kind of move it around until it slips in, and then you just turn it clockwise until it won't go anymore. Now that's locked in. And then you have a rod in the other end. And I'm just going to go ahead and set this up just to show you, and then we'll go over and set up the other stuff. Okay. Already used one down just a little bit to play with it. Okay, now this right here kind of comes out, and it has the same kind of bayonet connection that goes in there. And then you loosen this up, and this will go in, and then when you tighten her down, everything will lock in position, and it still will come. If you push on this, you can pull this out. So this is the connection right here that you want to have tight like that. Okay, now it's not plugged in, but this is like the negative part of a battery. This is like the positive part of the battery. And if you've ever made contact between the positive and negative of the battery, you get a spark. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Is this is going to be on the working metal material that we're going to weld on, and then we're going to touch this to it. Now there's a trick about that. You got to tap it. If you just stick it down, I found out it will just weld this to the tip, and you can't do anything. So you got to kind of bounce it, and then you can actually raise it up. And there's a trick to it that I can't really, I still don't understand it completely. So anyway, we're going to get into that. All right, let me just lay this down here for the minute. Okay, now we're going to look at this, how to put this together, because you're going to get this and you're going to want to use it. Okay, the first thing we do is put it together. It comes out flat like this. On this side are two little tabs, and on that side 2 tabs. And what you do is bring these together like this, and then back underneath they will snap in. You heard that. And then this one will snap in. You do the same thing. Pretty easy. I'd say do the top one, and then the bottom one will fall right in. And you have to look in there. There we go. And then you can kind of squeeze these in, and you see that's the way it's going to look. But I have nothing to handle, to hold on to, so this goes in here like this. There. It just snapped right in. On the back, you got to line this up with those edges. We put this on from the outside, and what you do is lift these up, and these tabs just hold it in place, and you just push it all the way down till it goes all the way there. And then that holds it in place. It's really just a cheap little setup, but it made it where it's a reasonable price and do the job. So you can sit here and hold it right or left while you're welding. So, and boy, you cannot see through this, so it's going to be difficult to see how you do. I don't know how welders can follow a line or something, but we'll try it. Okay. Now, in here, and you always want to read this, and one of the things it talks about is welding parameters. Right here, welding current for 110 to 140 amps is 3.2. 170 amps to 220 amps is 4.0. Well, I'm not sure exactly which one I need, so I set it at this particular one right here, 110 to 140 amp at 3.2. So on the back here is a meter that is going to show you that when you turn it on. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And I'm going to pull this off while I'm just showing that, so we don't have these to come in contact. So let's plug it in. And until I make contact with this tip, with anything that's connected to this, when it's connected in there, I'm not going to get any kind of arc or anything, so it's no problem. Okay, I'm plugged in. Now this is the way you turn it on. Now it's on, and now it's set up, but nothing's plugged in there. And I've got 2.5, and we wanted 3.2 here for that particular setting I set. Right here, this red knob will allow you to change that, going clockwise, right there. Okay, there it is, 3.2. All right, so it's ready to go, and this is the only switch you've got, and air is sucked in here and blown out this way. So you feel it coming out of here, going in there. So I turn it off. It's set. Now, this is the way they show connecting. Is you're plugged in, you have the alligator clip, the black alligator clip, plugged into the positive side, and now we have our welding rod into the negative side. We clip the alligator clip onto the material that we're going to weld on, and then you can put something else on top. We'll see how it works. Okay, and let's see what else it shows us. And here's a little operational setup of just what I've told you right here. And then there is a troubleshooting guide if you have problems on the back, and maintenance. All right, let's go over, and I'm going to attempt a project. Okay, 3.2. All right, now I'm going to tap it. See, it sticks. There. See, it wants to stick. I'm not skilled in getting it started, but I do know that it's got to be a tap. So let me get this thing tapped and see if I can do it. Oh, and I did get a weld spot there, so let me do it again. All right, I'm going to try and tap it. Ha! See, I'm learning as I go. Wow, look at that. Now that's my first true weld. And let's see, now I take the brush. Folks, I see that doing the starting of it, I don't completely have it to where I know exactly how you have to tap it, but it's once you get it started, then it starts flowing and it doesn't stick anymore. And they show that you got to get this. But look, that is my true first. I'm going to unplug it right there. Folks, this actually does nothing, but you got to see my absolute first attempt at welding. And I think with time, I see that you have to get the rod hot and the place hot, and you feel it starting to melt, the rod. Then I know it's going to start sticking and welding. And so, not too shabby. And this is what you would have to do, is practice, but I'm going to read up on it a little bit more, and I think I'll have more skill or knowledge to be more skillful in getting this thing to tap and start going. I have a tendency for it to stick, and I'm sure I'm not doing something right. So anyway, my first welding attempt. I think I'm going to like it, and I'm going to get some real projects that I really want to do and perfect it a little bit more. Hey folks, you saw what you have to do, and I should have been wearing my gloves, and I didn't use this, but these glasses seem to be dark enough, but I don't know if you'd want to use these all day long. But I just cannot see out of this, even to find this rod. So that's something I'd have to learn something more about. Okay, folks, I hope this has been helpful to show you. And I cannot figure how to pronounce this name. TTIIIII. Anyway, it appears to have the power to really do some serious welding. Because I see that really melted the metal. So the only thing I need is skill. Okay, I want to thank you very much for watching my video.